Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another day of USC Aiken baseball. Tonight, the USC Aiken Pacers take on Paine College Lions. Pacers are coming into this game 11-3, and Paine College is coming in 8-7. On the mound today for the Pacers, we have Connor Riley as he sets to deal the first pitch, which goes in there for a ball. He's facing Jalen Horton, the leadoff man for Paine. Kendrick Elder is in the batter's box for Paine, and Fentress Henderson in the hole. And that pitch is in there for a call strike. Evens up the count at 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be sliced foul and out of play. Make the count 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Horton. And he's going to foul that one off, and that'll keep the count at 1-2. This is a one-game non-conference matchup between USC Aiken and Paine. Paine, I believe, is coming off of a no-hitter, if I'm correct.
They are. I was told just recently that they did have a no-hitter this past weekend. I mean, great job for them. I mean, regardless of who is against or anything like that, at the college level, that's amazing to do.
Pitch a no-hitter at any level, and that's quite an accomplishment. That one is going to be high, and he's going to be called out.
And they said he had the foul tip on that one, so call it third strike.
And wasn't able to get the bat down in time, so.
That's a very unique-looking strikeout.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a break for the Pacers there. And that'll bring up Kendrick Elder, the left fielder for Paine. And here's the first pitch. That's going to be on the inside corner there for call strike.
And this is the first of two matchups between these teams. They're going to square off against each other later this month as well. They usually do battle two or three times every single year because of the relativity of how close they are.
Yeah, they're right across the river in Georgia there. And the pitch. That's going to catch the outside corner this time for strike two. So an 0-2 count to Kendrick Elder with one man down and nobody on here in the first inning. And that one's just going to miss the strike zone there.
And I think everyone thought that was a strike, even the batter.
Yeah, the batter was already halfway towards the dugout there. But the count is 1-2. That's going to be a curveball, and that's going to miss. Evens up the count at 2-2. And the 2-2. That one's also going to miss, and the count is now full. So it starts off 0-2, and manages to stay in there, working the count full now. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three. So that's a second strikeout for Connor Riley. That brings up third baseman Fentress Henderson for the Lions.
And Henderson's a 5'7" junior from Atlanta, Georgia.
And the first pitch. Gonna miss the strike zone for a ball. Bounced in and out of the catcher's glove there. So the count is 1-0. Second pitch is also going to miss the strike zone for ball two. The 2-0 pitch from Riley. Just a little high for ball three. And the fourth straight ball, so walking him on four pitches there. That'll give Paine a runner on first base and two men down as the cleanup hitter, Adam Martin, a local boy, comes to the plate. And the first pitch to Martin. That's going to be in there for call strike one.
And although Raleigh is starting the game for the Pacers, he's going to be one of several pitchers to take them on tonight for USC Aiken. As Kenny Thomas said, they're going to see at least 4 or 5 pitchers all throughout the night, a couple innings apiece, just to get them a little bit of game experience tonight.
And that pitch is going to miss for ball 1, evens up the count at 1-1. Since this is a non-conference game, I'm just going to guess that Kenny Thomas wants to take a look at his pitchers, on a game that has meaning, but not nearly as much as if they were playing somebody in the PVC.
Absolutely, and one of the things, they want to let each of the pitchers get a couple innings here because you don't want to waste them pretty much today for the rest of the weekend. And so it's like, we're going to stay with a couple innings apiece and see how everyone does. Still try to get the win, but then the most important thing is to go through the rotation and see who we have pitching and how they perform against good competition.
Third pitch there is going to miss outside for ball 2. I made the count 2-1. Give some of your guys some experience in a game. See what they can do. So that way, if you need them later on in the season, you have them. As that ball is grounded to second. An easy throw over to first for the final out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. As we go into the bottom of the first inning, no score. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the first inning here of a no-score game. Pacers coming up to try to put a stop to the no-score. And leading off for the Pacers is second baseman Skylar Mercado. He'll be followed by Chaz Powell, the left fielder. And in the hole is the first baseman, Brian Pereira. On the mound today for Paine College is Zach Rader. And here's his first pitch. It's going to be inside for ball 1. Pacers have an interesting lineup out there in the field. 3 catchers in today's game. 3 or 4 catchers.
One of them playing right field I believe it's right field with Zach Moon.
Yeah, Zach Moon, the cleanup hitter, is playing out in right field.
And they have Douglas Hart behind the plate.
Douglas Hart he's the today's catcher. And Max Schoen, one of the other catchers, is DHing tonight.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 are playing. The only one that's not right now is Charlie Padilla.
And that's going to hit Mercado. But they're saying he didn't get out of the way in time, so that'll just be a 2-1 count.
That's hard to do sometimes. If a pitch is coming at you pretty fast, sometimes you might freeze, and it's not like you're trying to get hit.
And most of the time, you're just trying to brace yourself for impact.
Right.
Not much you can do. But the umpire thought he could get out of the way, so he's going to stay in the plate. And that one's going to miss. Counts now 3-1. As a player, I actually hated getting hit by a pitch. I wanted to get a chance to actually do something with it. So he's probably thinking to himself, yeah, you know what? I'll take another swing at it. And he does swing at it, and it's a high fly ball into center field. Horton's there and makes the catch for the first out. That brings up Chaz Powell, the left fielder. Powell comes into this game with a .379 batting average. He has no home runs but 10 RBIs on the year. So that's a pretty good number. And the pitch.
What another count. It's in there for a strike. 1-1 now.
I made a mistake. Chaz Powell actually has 4 home runs. And those 4 home runs give him 14 RBIs.
Yeah. The numbers we're trying to read on that sheet are pretty small.
And my vision is bad enough to begin with. As that pitch misses for a ball. I'll make the count 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. That's going to be a high fly ball, but very shallow. It's still in the infield. And he dropped the ball!
And you see, Powell was pretty heady. He started to just, run as fast as he could towards second base, and for some reason he stopped on a dime, and by that point, pitcher dropped the ball.
Yeah, but he gets on base anyway on the E3.
Oh, my apologies. I said it was a pitcher. It was the first baseman. My eyesight's pretty bad too.
Don't worry about it. We're only human after all.
No more mistakes the rest of the night.
I'll try. No promises, though, on the left and right field matter, as they're going to check on Powell at first. Pereira's at the plate now for the Pacers. And he takes a pitch there and swings and misses. 4 strike 1. So no 1 count to Pereira, who's playing first base tonight for USC Aiken. Pereira has 4 home runs on the year with 11 RBIs as they check on the runner at first once again. And he has a .315 batting average. So Pereira is still awaiting his pitch, as there's been 2 checks on first base. And the 0-1 pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1, evens up the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 1 man on here in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch. Curveball is going to come back into the strike zone for strike 2, making the count 1-2. And another check on first base there. Powell makes it back safely. So Pereira still awaiting the 1-2 pitch. And he'll have to wait a little bit more as they're going to check on Powell once again.
If you're Powell, you're pretty frustrated over there, having to take a couple steps off the base and keep going back over here. Once or twice, okay, but after about the 5th time, just pitch the ball.
Yeah, you got to imagine everybody. I mean, every game you watch, especially if it's the away team throwing over to first after the first couple ones, they're okay with it. But when you get to 3 and 4, they start to boo. But hey, that's baseball. And there's a pitch there as it's grounded towards short. They're going to try to turn 2 here. There's 1, and the throw to first is in time for the double play. So a double play will end the inning, and no runs, no hits. 1 man left and 1 off of the 1 error. We're going into the top of the 2nd, no score. Welcome back. We're here in the top of the second inning. No-score game here. And Haziel Morel, the catcher for Paine, is stepping up to the plate. Riley deals, and that's going to be a grounder past the shortstop and into center field for a base hit. First hit of the game for either team. So Haziel will have a single to lead off this second inning. That'll bring up Ricky Carruel, the shortstop. He'll be up with one man on and nobody out. The pitch from Riley. It's going to be grounded to third and not going to be able to field it. Shortstop gets a hold of it, throws to first, but it's going to draw Pereira off the bag. So everybody is safe. That was a hard hit ball, though, so can't really put too much blame on the infield there.
You can't, but I mean, I think there's probably still ruled out an error here momentarily. It's in between hops. Should have had the ball. Not much reaction time though.
They might put an error on the shortstop for the throw there. They're going to give a hit, and no errors. Not too surprising. I mean, they could have gone either way there.
You could. I mean, especially as hard hit as the ball was, he didn't have much time to react.
So the first two runners are on board for Paine here. 2 back-to-back singles. And that'll bring up Briscoe Johnson, the first baseman. He has runners on second and first base. And looking to do some damage here to be the team that strikes first. And Riley steps off the mound, sending the runners scrambling back to their bases.
And even though USC Aiken owns the all-time series, Paine was a team that gave USC Aiken fits last year when they came to town. And, they've got some great talent on that team. And if you're USC Aiken, you can't take any game lightly against your rival.
Johnson bunts it right back to the mound. He's going to throw it over to third and gets the out.
That was a great job. Cleanly fielded, turned, pivoted to and just a great throw to third.
No hesitation either, which is key. He knew exactly where he was going with that ball, and it definitely paid off.
And good job by Banks to get right back over there as soon as the ball hit the ground. He didn't go after it at all, just sprinted back to third and waited for the throw.
Shows great awareness by these infielders. So there's one man down, runners still on second and third after the failed bunt attempt. And call it time here. Riley taking just a little too much.
Yeah, runners on first and second.
Right, first and second.
It's been a long week, and you're getting ready for spring break in a couple of days, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Although, not much of a spring break, because you're going to be here.
I will be. I will be calling all these games. But I don't mind that. I do not mind that.
Could always be worse.
And the pitch is going to be swung on a fly ball into shallow right field and caught for the second out. Too shallow to advance the runners, so they will stay put on second and first. The problem was we were talking about third base so much, it's just kind of stuck in my head.
Absolutely.
That brings up Brad Dobler, the second baseman. He'll have 2 men on and 2 men down here in the second inning. The first pitch to Dobler. Swung on and fouled for strike 1. Oh, and 1's the count. Riley takes his time in between pitches here. That ball is going to be in the dirt. But blocked by Ard. So the runners will stay put, and the count will be 1-1. Runners with healthy leads on their bases at second and first. Not really holding them too much as Riley steps off the mound. And after some time, here's the 1-1 pitch. Gonna miss just outside there for ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Dobler.
And Dobler has a lot of room on the right side to be able to hit the ball in right center field. Pretty big gap, and the wind's blowing left to right. So if he gets over there, he has a chance to get a couple extra bases.
You have to swing just a little bit late in order to do that, but
right.
And once again, the ball gets away from the catcher, but not far enough. 3-1 the count. Three balls, one strike, 2 men down, and 2 men on here in the no-score game in the top of the second inning. And the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be in there for a strike. Dobler thought it was ball 4 and was already on his way to first.
He tried to sell it there,
Yeah.
halfway down the first. He's hoping he won't call a strike, but
Yeah, sometimes it works, but this time it did not. And that'll make the count full.
and runners will be going on this pitch.
And the 3-2 pitch is not going to be coming as Riley steps off. Trying to catch him going on the pitch there probably, but nobody was covering the bag. Here's the 3-2. Just on the outside corner, got him looking for strike 3 and the third out of the inning. So no runs on 2 hits and 2 men left on here in the top of the second inning. Pacers coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. We're in the bottom of the second inning. No score on the board for either team. And Zach Moon is going to lead off for the Pacers. Moon is batting .400 this year with 6 home runs and 23 RBIs.
Not shabby. He already earned National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association Region Player of the Week, or Region Hitter of the Week, a week ago, and Peach Belt Conference, Player of the Week. So obviously a great start to the season for him.
Curveball is going to come into the strike zone for strike 1. He's definitely been proving it in all the games that I've seen. His first game that I called, he ended up hitting 2 home runs in that game.
Yeah. Not shabby.
And here's the 0-1 pitch to Moon. He's going to swing at that curveball a little too early for strike 2.
Swinging for the fence on that one.
Oh, yeah. Feel a gust of wind coming off the bat as he swung that.
Yeah, but none in the air. The flag is completely dead at center field.
Well, I mean, his bat was moving towards left field, so.
All right, that makes sense. 0-2 count.
Here is not going to be the 0-2 pitch, as Rader calls his catcher, Morel, out to him. Probably not liking the signs he was getting. So Moon awaits his 0-2 pitch here in the bottom of the second inning of a no-score game. And the delivery. That's going to miss high for ball one. Trying to get him with the strikeout pitch of a high fastball there, but Moon did not go for it. 1-2 the count to Moon, and here's the pitch. It's going to be grounded just fair down the third base line. And Moon's going to go for two here as it goes into the corner. And he will make it in there with a stand-up double.
And Moon's been great, not only hitting home runs for USC Aiken, but also smacking doubles. That seems like down the left field line every single time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's nice to have a guy who can hit for power, but also a guy who can hit for average. And now the DH Max Schoen comes up to the plate. Schoen batting .500 on the year. 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. And he'll have Moon on second base and a potential run there as well.
And Schoen hasn't had as many chances as everybody else on the team. Played a couple less games, but he's made the most of every single time he's gone to the plate.
Yeah, he's definitely been clutch. I've seen him when he comes out there. He'll come in when the Pacers are down or the Pacers are in a tight game, and he'll provide them the run or the hit that they need. And you always like to have that in any player, but if you can get a guy who can come in and do that almost every time, that's nice. Here's the pitch to Schoen as he swings and misses at that one. And another meeting at the mound. So Schoen has an 0-1 count on him right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt for ball one. Evens up the count now. Schoen looking to break this no-score game. And he'll have opportunity with Moon on second there, thanks to his leadoff double. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on an outside fastball. 1-2 now the count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that's going to hit Schoen, who also is being said did not try to get out of the way.
And you could tell he saw the curveball coming. He was like, I'm not moving at all.
He probably just figured, no, this is going to hit me anyway. May as well just stay here.
Even if he tried to get out of the way, he probably still would have gotten hit.
Oh, yeah. However, if he tried to get out of the way, he'd be down at first.
Absolutely.
But instead, it will make the count 2-2, and he'll have an opportunity to get a base hit. Here is that 2-2 pitch. Curveball, and it's going to be a base hit into left field. And Moon will advance to third base. And the Pacers will have runners on the corners with nobody out. And John Banks, the third baseman, stepping up to the plate.
And Moon had to stay on second base pretty much to make sure the ball got through the infield, so that's why he wasn't able to score.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get caught off the bag there and caught in a double play. But still, with Moon on third base, a deep fly will score him.
And Banks has had a solid start to the season. He's one of a few players that it actually has tied their school record for most hits in a game already with 5. So, not a bad way to introduce yourself to USC Aiken fans.
Oh yeah, he's batting. This year he's batting .383. No home runs and 10 RBIs. As they're gonna check on showing it first. So Banks will be still waiting for his first pitch. Here's that first pitch, and he's going to swing and foul it off for strike 1. Great way to endear yourself to fans is to have a productive offense.
And that's one thing Kenny Thomas's teams are known for, is having a high-octane offense that can score a lot of runs.
Runs are a crucial part of the game.
You can't live without them.
And the 0-1 pitch. That's going to miss for ball 1 and even the count up. I've noticed that the Pacers don't tend to win their games by these low-scoring games. No 4-1, 4-2 games. They're almost double digits every time. And the 1-1 pitch. That will also miss outside for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Runners on first and third.
And the solid hitting is a testament to assistant coach Phil Disher. He came in this year and took over for Jason Walk, who always had the team hitting really well, but has come in and picked right off where Walk left off, and they've done a great job so far this season.
They're going to check on showing it first once again. Really like keeping the Pacers close to that bag over at first base.
And he's just making more work for the managers with the uniform dirty now.
You can be sure the whoever does laundry is not going to be too pleased with that. And the 2-1 pitch will be fouled off as well. Evens the count up at 2-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out for John Banks as he looks to break the tie here in the bottom of the second inning, and he'll have to wait once again as they're going to check on Schoen again at first base.
And part of this could be contributed to last year. USC Aiken had a few different times they had a double steal going on and did it successfully. So, I mean, you want to keep your runners close.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, some of it can also be to get into the batter's head.
Right.
As that one's going to be fouled off. Baseball players the timing is everything in this game, and if they get into a rhythm and then something happens to break them out of it, that's going to definitely mess with them.
I feel like they're lost at that point.
Oh, yeah. So 2 balls and 2 strikes still after the foul. And here's the pitch. That's going to be inside for ball 3, so the count is now full. All that work for just a full count.
As you see, someone's up in Paine's bullpen warming up now, so it might be one of those things where, just like USC Aiken, you don't want to have one of your pitchers go too deep into the night, regardless of the score, just because of what's going to happen this weekend.
Oh, yeah. And here is the 3-2 pitch. That one's going to miss inside as well for ball 4, and that'll load up the bases for the shortstop, Ty Ammerman. Ammerman comes into this game with a .213 batting average, 2 home runs, and 11 RBIs. So he's getting some production, but not nearly as much with that average.
He's been another welcome addition to the team this season. Just had to adjust the camera settings real quick, so that was not your computer or mobile device.
No need to panic. Just trying to make sure that everybody can see the game properly. And here's the first pitch to Ammerman. That one's going to miss for ball 1.
As much as you want to swing, if you're a batter with the bases loaded, make him throw a strike first.
Much easier to get production on a pitch that's down the middle instead of one inside. Unless, of course, you like it inside. Some players do.
I swung at everything.
And the 1-0 pitch, that's going to be way outside for ball 2. So a little margin for error here for Rader.
And some fans having some fun in the crowd.
That's going to be a high fly ball into shallow center field.
It might be enough to deepen, and he lost it in the lights.
And yeah, Horton couldn't find that. So 1 run will score. They're going to bring a runner around third. And he will score as well. So both Moon and Schoen score as Horton lost sight of the ball in the lights.
And that's tough. I mean, he came in, and I thought it was hit pretty shallow the way he's coming in, but he just misplayed it by about 25 feet.
Yeah. Had he caught that ball, they might have been able to score 1 run, but I don't think the other runners would have been able to advance. It was so shallow that they'd have to stay put.
And even then, it would be tough for him, I think, to be able to score because of how shallow it was. His arm strength should have been able to get it all the way to the plate.
Oh, yeah. But Pacers will get 2 runs out of that as Ammerman gets an RBI double. That's one of those mental errors that you can't put down on the score sheet, but you definitely feel bad after it if you're that guy. Doug Ard now comes up to the plate for the Pacers. He'll be working with a man on second and third and nobody out in a 2-0 ball game. Here's the first pitch to Ard. He swings and misses at that one for strike 1.
And you see Paine is playing in to keep the run from scoring. So, even a blue pit, though, scores 2.
I've seen it happen against my favorite team where infield's playing to protect the run and a little blue pit over their heads.
If they were playing at normal depth, they'd field it with no problem at all.
Oh, yeah. And the 0-1 pitch is going to be fouled off and into the Pacer dugout. Not hard enough to scare them, but I'll move it out of the way a little bit. So 0-2 the count now to Ard. Ard comes into this game with a 125 batting average. No home runs and 2 RBIs. He's only played in 5 games, though, so those numbers really aren't a big indicator of how well he can play. But he has a chance here to do some more damage. And the 0-2 pitch. High fly ball into foul territory. And out of play to keep the count at 0-2. First baseman Johnson thought he had a play on it, but all that running didn't get him anywhere.
Hit about 35 feet over the fence.
So we'll have another 0-2 pitch here to Ard. That one's going to miss inside and high for ball 1, making the count 1-2. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Another curveball and another high fly ball into the gap in right center field. That's going to be caught by Martin. And the runners will tag. And Ammerman is almost tagged out. He kind of running slowly towards third base, but he gets there in time. And the sac fly will score John Banks from third base.
And a great throw by the right fielder.
Very, very good. Very far throw and accurate throw.
And good job by the third baseman to act like their ball wasn't even coming towards him and then just picked it up in the last second to try to tag him out.
Yeah, trying to play some mental games there.
Not very nice, but great job.
Hey, it almost worked. I mean, Ammerman thought he had an easy ticket to third base, but it was a little closer than he thought it would be. But that'll bring up Mitchell Price. He's going to be working with 1 man on and 1 man down in a 3-0 ball game as he swings at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. 3-0 is the score right now in the bottom of the second inning, thanks to the sac fly by Ard. As the second pitch is going to miss outside for ball one. One's across the board. Number 1 up at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out.
You almost want to go Yahtzee at this point.
Almost. Well, I mean, you might be able to call it Yahtzee with the 1 error. But hey, if you need your 4 of a kind, you got it. That curveball's going to miss. And that'll ruin all the ones, as the count now is 2-1. Price comes into this game with a .277 average. He also has 2 home runs and 12 RBIs on the year. And he'll be looking to add to that. As that ball misses, it gets away from the catcher. And Ard is going to just trot into first base for the 4th run for the Pacers.
And the wild pitch there.
And you never want to give up those easy runs if you're a pitcher.
You can't fault the catcher at all. I mean, he's sitting there trying to backhand it about 3 feet away from his right leg.
You got to...
You almost have to move your whole body and put your body in front of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's asking just a little much from a catcher. So 3-1 is the count now, and nobody's on thanks to the wild pitch. And Price will swing at that pitch for strike 2. Now the count is full.
And the infield's back to normal depth.
And no runs to try to save, as Pacers now have a 4-0 lead. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Price down on strikes. That's the first strikeout of the day for the Pacers. And that'll bring us back to the top of the order. Skyler Mercado comes up. He flew out to center his first time up at the plate. Mercado comes to the plate with nobody on and 2 men down, but his team is leading 4-0 here in the second inning. And here's his first pitch as he swings and fouls that one off. 4 strike 1. And we're going to have another meeting at the mound.
Every single time they have a meeting on the mound, though, it means we just get better music to be played.
That's true.
While you're over here with your air guitar.
Yeah, I'm very good at the air guitar, not so good at the real guitar. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's also going to be fouled off. The advantage of the air guitar, though, is you don't develop any calluses on your fingers.
That is true. I was not good at any of those instruments at all.
I did trumpet when I was younger. Definitely an interesting instrument to play.
It's a tough one, but as are most instruments. Says the person who I took piano for 2 years. When Mom's like, you have to do it, and so I did. I remember one song 20-something years later.
I can still kind of play my instrument. Not as great as I used to. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's going to be a liner into left center field for a base hit. And he's going to be trying to stretch it into a double, and he will make it sliding headfirst into second base.
That just shows you the speed that Mercado has. I mean,
kind of bringing the ball in a little bit slow there, and Mercado took advantage of that.
Well, it looked like a routine single turned into an unusual double.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you see an opening, take it. And he figures, they're leading 4-0 right now. It's early in the game. Why not take a chance? Put yourself in scoring position. That brings up Chaz Powell, who reached on an error his first time up at the plate.
It was a good job by Powell to sit there and run it out, where most people might have just said, okay, fly ball, and, 30 feet away from you, I'm just going to not run it out, and they'd have been tagged out at first anyway.
Oh, yeah. That's why you got to always run, always run. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Little League coaches all across the nation are always tell their kids, always run it out, always run it out. And if you don't run it out, they end up benching you.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure that applies to pretty much coaches at any level. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Coaches at any level for any sport just about.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you do, just run full speed.
Give it 120%. Unless it's preseason, then, maybe 80%.
Right.
So Powell will be waiting on the 0-2 pitch as he has Mercado at second base. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And Pacers will be going into the top of the third inning, taking defense with a comfortable 4-0 lead as they strike here in the bottom of the second. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. We're here in the top of the third inning. First pitch in there for a strike. Pacers leading 4-0 after a bit of an offensive burst in the bottom of the second inning.
It looks like Jalen Horton's going to step into the batter's box for Paine College. I'm Chip, joining you late as I was at a prior engagement. We sent Brent out of the press box, so this is what you're stuck with. Got the 0-2 pitch.
That's going to be in the dirt. 4-1, making the count 1-2.
Little annual matchup between Paine and USC Aiken. Always fun to get the Cross River teams together.
Yep. They say that Paine, despite their record of 8-7, they tend to be a bit of a thorn in the Pacers' side.
Last year they came in here and they really fought the good fight. It really could have gone either way as this strike 3. So K for that.
Nice curveball there to come back into the strike zone as it looked like it was going for Horton's head. So Horton will strike out looking for the second time today. And that brings up Kendrick Elder, who also struck out in the first inning on his first at-bat.
This is really the tale of two cities. You got USC Aiken, who very well-funded program, Paine College, doing the best that they can, and they put together quality teams. Actually had a strong golf program a number of years ago, and with one of the top teams in the nation. But a great tradition at Paine College. And these are the gentlemen that are going to carry it to the next level, they hope.
That's grounded to Pereira. He'll flip it over to Riley for the second out of the inning. You always like it when those small schools, those underdog schools, they find success.
I'm a Georgia Tech fan, so I'm always pulling for the underdog. It is the most natural thing I do. I'm a Pacer here tonight, but I won't cry. Looks like we got Fentress Henderson up to the plate.
He walked his first time up.
So Pacers lead 4-0 here at the top of the third.
That
Good looking
pitch
strike
is
there. That's
gonna miss for a ball though. Good
missed
pitch.
by a centimeter.
Very good pitch though. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's gonna be fouled back. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Riley looks very relaxed on the mound for the Pacers. Just playing catch with his catcher, which is what you want to see happen with your pitching team, or your pitching crew.
Yeah.
Channel 26 is here, in-house. Actually recognize that guy holding the camera.
Here is the 1-1 pitch. That's gonna bounce in the dirt before it gets to the plate.
Yeah,
that
fell about a foot short.
Probably one of the reasons Riley is so relaxed is last inning he worked himself out of a bit of a jam, and he has a 4-0 lead to work with right now.
Yeah, I think that 4-0 league has a lot to do with it.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully he's forgotten about the jam. 3-1 pitch. And that's going to get called for a strike to fill the count.
Once again, Henderson trying to sell that one as a walk. So the count is full, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for the final out of the inning. So Paine goes down 1-2-3, and Pacers maintain their 4-0 lead. We're going into the bottom of the third with that score. Welcome back, folks. We're here in the bottom of the third inning. Pacers leading 4-0, and Brian Pereira steps to the plate. New pitcher for Paine College. Stephen Abernathy takes over.
A little lefty out of the Atlanta area. We're not sure what part of Atlanta, but he's an ATLer.
And here's the first pitch to Pereira. He takes it for ball one, or strike one, sorry. Pereira grounded into a 6-4-3 double play back in the first. That was his first at-bat. And here's the 0-1 pitch. That one is certainly a ball. A, because he didn't swing, and B, because it was way outside. That'll even the count up at 1-1. That one's going to be inside. Pereira just kind of...
I think he thought I was going to plunk him in the back, and it kind of bent just enough to miss him.
Not really making much effort to get out of the way of these pitches, but so far it hasn't really hurt them in any way, shape, or form. Here's the 2-1.
The ball lifted high into the stratosphere. Catcher range it back. It looks like he's going to be able to.
Won't be able to make the catch. So the count will be 2-2.
And they're definitely losing the ball up in the sky. I mean, we had that happen in the last inning. The center fielder was unable to locate the ball.
Well, that would have been a hard catch anyway. It came down riding the mesh there. So.
Yes, that's right. But it looked like he had set up about 10 feet away from the mesh and then realized, oh, it's over here. So the 2-2 pitch. Abernathy slow to get the signal. There he goes. That one's going to get in the dirt, and that's going to catch the catcher in the hand. Probably did not feel good, especially with the temperatures dropping down there. It's a little chilly, a little brisk, if you will. For southern, as far as us folks in the south go, anything below 50, we're miserable.
Couple that with taking a little bit of a blow on the hand there. I certainly know what it's like to take a baseball on the hand.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll have to get back to that story as Pereira steps back into the plate. The count is full. It's 52 degrees here, so we're just shy of complaining.
It's a liner into deep right field.
That may go yard.
That's going, and that's going to be off the wall. Pereira going to make it over to second, and he will have a stand-up double.
So not bad.
On the 3-2 pitch, Pereira lines one out there. Well hit ball. Not enough on it, but it's definitely good enough to get him over to second base.
That's right.
That brings up Zach Moon, who doubled himself on his first time up at the plate. Started up that Pacer rally.
So Zach Moon coming in. Runner on second, no outs. Here at the bottom of the third, Pacers lead 4-0. We've got 5 hits to their 2.
And 1 error for Paine, and no errors for USC Aiken. Fortunately for Paine, that error didn't really hurt them or anything. Yeah. No, it did not. Had to think about that for a second, as that first pitch is outside for ball 1.
Abernathy kind of slow.
Setting his own tempo. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's also going to miss outside for ball 2.
Be the tempo of a snail. Not sure. It looks like he's having a hard time getting the calls from the catcher.
You definitely want to try to be on the same page with your catcher if you're a pitcher. And the 2-0 pitch to Moon. Swing and a miss on that one for strike 1.
Moon definitely tried to send one into the next county with that swing. He's been hitting the ball hard for the Pacers this year.
And he's got several home runs on the year. 6 to be precise. As that pitch is going to miss outside for ball 3, making the count 3-1.
I think it was opening day where he actually had 2 home runs, both of them 2-run homers.
Anytime you can hit 2 home runs in a game, especially 2 2-run home runs, you feel pretty good about yourself. So here is the 3-1 pitch to Zach Moon. And he's going to swing for that one and miss for strike 2. That'll make the count full. Moon just got a little bit ahead of that pitch, even though it was a fastball. You can tell he wants to get a hold of one here. And the 3-2 pitch. In the dirt and away from the catcher. And Pereira's going to make his way over to third as Moon walks. Feel free to make a joke about that.
By all means, Moon walks first.
Wonder if that'll catch on.
It didn't last year.
Okay, so somebody's already tried it.
Yeah, we had a little fun with it last year. Looks like the women's softball team's out of practice. They're all piling in slowly. Some of the women's volleyball team down there. Of course, men's soccer team all over the place as they are working the game. 52 degrees here in Aiken, South Carolina. From the way the flag is just laying still on the pole, there's no wind to speak of.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here in shorts and a t-shirt. You can definitely tell where I'm from.
Beach Island. I'm dressed comfortably as I knew that I'd be inside the press box tonight. Everything looks good on the Pacer front. It looks like the little infield meeting has come to a conclusion, and
Schoen stepping to the plate for Pacers. He's got runners on the corners here and nobody out in a 4-0 ball game. And here's the pitch. He's going to swing at that one for strike one.
And Max has been known to go yard a time or two. I think he's got one this year for sure.
Yeah, we were saying earlier he's definitely a clutch hitter. He comes in when you need him to and gets you that hit when you really need it. He faces a 0-1 count as they're going to check on Moon at first. So 0-1 the count to Schoen, who singled and scored his first time up. And he's going to hit a fly ball into foul territory and out of play. That'll make the count 0-2. Abernathy really taking his time between pitches here. And that pitch is going to miss outside for ball one. So 1-2 now, the count to Schoen. He'll be looking to extend this Pacer lead with runners on the corners here and nobody out.
Took a little bit off that one, got him chasing early, and now he keep the count 1-2.
And just catching a piece of it to stay alive. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Schoen. And he's going to swing at that one on the outside for strike three.
Abernathy showing that he's not afraid to work the outside corners, and he's got 2 Ks to show for it. That's going to bring Jonathan Banks up to the plate.
Banks walked his first time up at the plate, and he came around to score as well. He'll be working with runners on the corners and one down here in the bottom of the third inning. Adam's going to be in there for call strike one. And the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, bouncing away from the catcher. But everybody's going to stay put. And the count is going to be even at 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch. We'll have to wait as they're going to check on Moon once again at first base.
And Moon he's been known to steal a base or two. I think he's got 3 or 4 on the season so far.
Oh, the 1-1 pitch is going to be a high fly ball into right field. And Martin's going to drop the ball. He loses it in the lights. So Banks will be safe on that drop ball. Moon will advance to second, and Pereira will come in from third base and score.
That gives you an idea. We said this earlier with their center fielder. You're playing in a park that you're not familiar with. That ball obviously got lost. I mean, it wasn't a hard ball for the right fielder to play, but for whatever reason, he lost sight of it and wasn't able to squeeze it.
That was definitely a really high ball there. You have to wonder if he probably might have lost it in the lights or something like that. But regardless, it's going to be scored as an error. And that will bring up Ty Hammerman, the shortstop, who got an RBI double back in the second inning. And here's the first pitch to Hammerman. It's going to miss inside for ball 1. Hammerman waiting the 1-0 pitch. Still waiting, and here it comes. That one's just going to miss the strike zone. Trying to sell it was Morel, the catcher. However, he didn't bid high enough to the umpire. So that'll make the count 2-0. Hammerman working with a runner on second and first with one man down here in the bottom of the third inning of a 5-0 ball game. And they're going to check on the runner at second, but nobody's covering the bag, so Moon is just going to makes his way back there, safe and sound. The 2-0 pitch to Hammerman. It's going to miss outside for ball 3. And we're going to have another meeting on the mound here. And just some words of encouragement to Abernathy.
Well, you got runners on first and second. You're down by 5. You got 1 out. You would definitely want to make sure you're on the same page, as they are probably changing the signals up, as you got a runner on second for the Pacers, who happens to be a catcher.
I don't like him when he can steal the signs and give them away to the batter.
Not that Zach would do such a thing, but he's a consummate teammate. That ball called strike. 3-1 is your count. But catchers are savvy. They know what's up, and
I mean,
it's a precarious spot for a pitcher, knowing that the guy behind him is a catcher, and he can.
Yeah, you can't fault guys for doing that, though. I mean, all players do that if they have the opportunity. That pitch is going to miss inside for ball 4. So Ammerman will walk. And that'll bring up Doug Ard, who had a sac fly his first time up. And he'll be coming up to the plate now with bases loaded.
So bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the third.
Here's the pitch.
Good looking pitch there called strike, catching the inside edge of the plate.
Again, the margin of error has disappeared now. If you're Paine, you need to you gotta just throw those over the plate there. Can't afford to have a walk. So 0-1 is the count. And he's going to ground that to second base. They're going to try to turn 2 here. There's 1. And the throw to first is in time for the double play.
So a good piece of pitching by Abernathy. He got the pitch he needed when he needed it most. But the Pacers do add 1. They lead 5-0 as we get ready to head to the top of the 4th. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, folks. We're going here into the top of the fourth inning here. Pacers leading 5-0. Pacers will make a pitching change and bring in Hunter Hubbard, the junior from Augusta, Georgia. And he has a comfortable 5-0 lead. And here's his first pitch, which is going to be fouled off for strike one. Adam Martin is the batter that Hubbard is facing as that pitch misses for ball one, evening the count up. Martin grounded out his first time up the plate. He'll be looking to do something else other than that, as that pitch is going to just catch the outside corner for strike two. I'll make the count 1-2 now to Martin. And that curveball is going to miss, evens the count up once again. Now it's 2-2. Hubbard deals, and he's going to catch him swinging there for a strikeout, and the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Haziel Morel, the catcher, who had a single on his last time up at the plate. He comes to the plate with nobody on and one out. Call it time here. And Hubbard pitches. Curveball is going to miss for ball one. That pitch is also going to miss for ball two. 2-0 the count to Morel. Here is the 2-0 pitch. High fly ball into left field. And Powell is camping out under it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Shortstop, number 8, Ricky Kuruahal.
Ricky Kuruahal, the shortstop, comes up to the plate now. He also singled his first time up at the plate. He now faces a two-out situation with nobody on, with his team trailing 5-0. And the pitch from Hubbard is going to be a curveball that certainly fooled Kuruahal.
Kind of fooled all of us. I don't think anybody's looking for Hubbard to lead with a curve. The throw from Schoen all the way to second was really pleasant.
Yeah, luckily
As it slipped out of his hand, throwing it back to Hubbard.
just a crazy pitch there.
Hubbard's not a small man. If you miss him throwing it back, you got to look at your hand and then look at the ground and you can't. You got to play that off like something else went wrong. It wasn't my throw.
Oh yeah.
It's like standing on the ocean or on the shore and trying to hit the ocean and missing.
That was a bunting single there.
Had a nice little English on it.
Went pretty far out there. In fact, that ball I think hit the dirt in the air. But it was a slow enough bunt that he was able to get to first base. So give Kuruahal another single today.
It might be the longest bunt you'll ever see.
And it doesn't matter how it works as long as it works.
Caught Ammerman by surprise. He was all the way back almost to the grass on the other side of the infield. First pitch called strike.
This is Briscoe Johnson, who grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. And he has an 0-1 count. And he's going to ground that one foul for the second strike. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 men out, and 1 man on here for Paine as they trail the Pacers 5-0 in the top of the 4th inning.
Hubbard, unlike Abernathy for Paine, works pretty quick from the rubber, and he'll get strike 3 on that fastball. That thing was smoking fast.
Got him looking there. for the final out of the inning. So Pacers lead will remain at 5-0 as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pacers leading 5-0, and Mitchell Price will lead off for this half of the inning for the Pacers. Struck out his first time up. And here's his first pitch. Catch in the outside corner for strike 1. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Going to be lined into right field for a base hit, and it's going to go between the legs of Martin out there.
And he's going to end up on third at the end of this little
Hey, he's just
effort.
booking it straight there.
So that'll be that would be an error on the right fielder.
Yep, they're calling it a hit and an error.
That'll put Mr. Price on third. So you definitely are not hating that. Now bring Mercado up to the plate.
Doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 today. And with Price on third, he's got an opportunity to pad his stats a bit.
That right fielder obviously not having the best game of his life. Yeah, he's the one that earlier misread the ball. Would have normally been an easy catch. And then that one getting by him.
That first pitch is in there for ball 1. Comfort he can take from this is he's not the only one out there. There's been a couple of miscues by other players tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Mercado. That's going to miss outside for ball 2. But again, it's like you said earlier, they're playing in a park that they're not accustomed to.
These lights are definitely up higher than the field that they're used to playing on. In fact, I'm not even sure that their field has lights. As I'm trying to think back on it.
It's going to be a liner into the right field, and it's going to drop in there for a base hit. Price tags from third, and he will score easily.
And that's one of those moments where his little miscues earlier in the game probably caused him to be cautious at that point. Had he not had those 2 miscues, he's probably making a more assertive effort to get to that ball. It really wasn't that far from him. You know, maybe even having to stretch him, lay it out and try to catch it. But I don't know the kid in right field for Paine College, but it looked like he was real tentative there. And you get a couple of errors and you tend to become tentative, and it can cost you in any sport.
Yeah, you just need to talk to him, settle him down a little bit, trying to get his head back into this game. And they're going to check on Mercado over at first.
And while we were talking about all that, Chaz Powell steps up to the plate. He's waiting for his first pitch.
0 for 2 today. Reached on an error and struck out.
One of the great characters of Pacer baseball. Had me in tears for Staff Appreciation Day back in the hall as we were waiting to go out with the students that Doug Art had asked me to go, and that was kind of an honor to be asked. But Chaz Powell and his professor was with him, and Chaz Powell is quite the character.
I could see you cracking up over there. I was at that game taking pictures.
We were very tickled throughout that entire event.
I gotta check out Mercado once again as Powell faces a 1-0 count. What was really interesting about that day is everybody was wearing the same shirts. Faculty was wearing the gray shirts. Students were wearing the red shirts. And then you have Brent walk out there in his full suit.
Brent doesn't dress down, and if he
Excellent.
does, he's gonna be wearing a Florida State T-shirt. Bless his heart, as we say in the South.
Better not tell him you said that.
Oh, I'll tell him. I say it to his face all the time. So the 1-1 pitch, runner on first. Pacers have a 6-run lead.
And here's the pitch to Powell. Gonna miss outside for ball 2. Powell almost got a hold of one on that the pitch before this. He had a hard liner into foul territory. Had he gotten straighten that one out a bit, it would have been trouble.
He's definitely another one of those guys that he can put a shot into the ball.
Well, and you have a 379 average. That's
Not bad. Not too shabby.
that one
Good eye there, but
just gonna catch the outside corner.
and I mean barely catch it. I'm sitting right over the plate, looking down at it, and I don't know that I was. Way to go, umpire! You do your job. I'll do mine. I'll shut up.
We're just commentating on the game. We're not the ones calling them.
What a lovely night for baseball.
2-2 the count, and Powell's gonna swing and miss at that one for the strikeout. Powell thought about running down to first base, but with the runner over there, he's just gonna have to walk back to the dugout. So he strikes out for the second time today for the first out of this bottom of the 4th inning, and Pereira steps up to the plate.
Pereira put a nice shot into his last at bat.
Nice double. Came around to score as well. And he'll be working with 1 man down and 1 man on in a 6-0 ball game.
A little activity over in the Paine College bullpen.
Here's the pitch. Missing just inside for ball 1.
That's what I thought. I could not convince myself to say that. So the 1-0 pitch. Quick throw to first. Not in time. Not a bad little step, though.
As a lefty, he's got the luxury of fooling the runner.
Well, he's got the luxury of not having to fool the runner. He's just got to make sure he steps in any direction other than towards the plate.
Now the 1-0 pitch.
That's a
High
hot shot.
fly ball into right field.
And it looks like the right fielder's got this. He'll squeeze that one for out number 2. And Pacer fans giving him some love.
Oh, that's
Not
nice.
a touch of sarcasm from what I could hear from the cheer. But Zach Moon's going to come in, playing right field for the Pacers.
And Moon doubled his first time up, came around to score, and walked his second time. Made it to third, but just couldn't get home. They could not bring him home. But he'll be working with a man on and 2 outs here in a 6-0 ball game. And here's the first pitch to Moon.
That ball in the dirt, and that's going to be an easy pass.
Mercado will get over to second with no trouble whatsoever. And they're going to chat amongst themselves once again, maybe change up the signs with a runner at second. A little beach music in the background there.
Something fitting for this Arctic temperatures here in Aiken, South Carolina. David Belfield and Emery Satoris from the men's and women's basketball team just walked in, supporting some Pacer baseball.
And the 1-0 pitch is going to miss outside for ball 2.
That's something I've always appreciated about USC Aiken. You'll see different teams supporting each other throughout their respective seasons. I know there's a women's soccer match going on right now. Taught a few of the former soccer players. They're going to go over there and see how their former team is doing. They came here first.
Here's the 2-0 pitch.
Pitch.
Inside for ball 3. Almost looks like a strike to me, but
It was close. I think he saw it as a little bit low because it covered the inside corner of the plate.
oh, regardless of the outcome of that looked like a very nice pitch, though.
3-0 is your count.
That was going to miss outside for ball 4. So Moon will once again walk.
Now put runners on first and second. And Max Schoen's going to come to the plate.
And what you were saying earlier, though, about the other teams coming out and supporting each other, I mean, it's not really surprising. This is a relatively small school, and these athletes, they all know each other. They probably all had class with each other at one time or another. So that builds a bit of a pride in your school and your other teams. You come out and support your friends.
Well, a lot of folks don't understand, especially non-student athletes. And it's not to say that non-student athletes don't have to sacrifice and do a lot. We know that they do. That's part of going to school. But student athletes don't really have the luxury of being able to work part-time jobs that much, especially in season, because the time is consumed by school and their respective sport. And because of that, they all tend to be in a lot of this they tend to be, in the same little tight circles. I know a lot of them live in a pretty common apartment complex here in Aiken, South Carolina. I can't mention them because they're not one of our sponsors, but maybe Brent Hager can take care of that, and we can start mentioning the Haven apartment complex. But until then, we will not say the Haven apartment complex.
Want to know the count? 2 showing.
And a quick throw down the first baseline, and that's going to get past the first baseman, and that's going to move all the runners 90 feet. We got runners on second and third now. Little pass ball. It's probably going to go to the catcher on the throw. It's one of those things, it looked better in his head than it turned out to be.
This game hasn't been too.
It's not been in the favor of the Lions of Paine.
They're just gonna have to walk away. I mean, they can still come back. This is by no means over. But if
absolutely
things remain the same, they're just gonna have to take it away. Hey, at least it wasn't a conference game. We can now work out the errors that have occurred.
Paine College has been closing the gap on USC Aiken the last few years, and there is no such thing as game over until we've completed the final out. And Paine College definitely has the ability to find their way.
That's a liner into center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit.
Really well right now. That's going to score 2. Nice little single there by.
One thing I want to say is these outfielders have good arms. I mean, that ball came in. Moon came in slowly, and that ball came in right after he touched the plate. So that was very close. These guys have very good arms. So Kenny Thomas might want to talk to these guys and say, "Hey, look, I know we've got a big lead here, but don't take it easy. Don't take it for granted when a ball gets hit out there that you're going to reach this base safely."
Well, it looks like we're going to have a little conversation on the mound about pitching. While they do that, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back right after this.
It looks like they sorted out whatever they needed to sort out up at the mound, and Banks will step up to the plate for the Pacers. Banks has 1 man on and 2 men down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Banks walked his first time up and reached on an error, which scored a run back in the 3rd inning. And his team now leads 8-0. And showing the batter before him, who singled his last time up, he is now 2 for 3 today with 2 singles and a strikeout.
That pitch missing the outside edge, a little low. 2-0 count. Banks trying to extend this little 2-out rally. Pacers lead 8-0.
We'll check over there on Schoen at first, trying to keep him close to the bag.
Or getting his uniform dirty, whichever. I think both he's successful in. Can't even see the letters on Schoen's jersey now. He's been in the dirt so much.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Another high fly ball into center field. Horton's going to get there and make the catch for the final out, but the Pacers score 3 in this half of the inning to extend their lead to 8-0 as we go into the top of the 5th by that score. Welcome back, folks. Pacers leading 8-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Hubbard deals. First pitch strike. And Jordan Deadweiler, the DH, steps up to the plate for the Lions. 0 for 1 today. Flew out his first time up as he takes a second pitch ball to even the count up at 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch from Hubbard. Took a little something off of it. Missed in the strike zone by a little bit there. 2-1 now the count. And the 2-1 pitch. That's going to miss inside and count now 3-1. That's a high fly ball into left field. And in foul territory, and Powell comes on and makes the catch. Goings has replaced Moon out in right field for the Pacers. Niall Goings, that is. So Brad Dobler, the second baseman, comes up, struck out his first time up at the plate. He's going to be facing nobody on and one out of an 8-0 ball game. First pitch is low for ball one. And Hubbard deals right down the middle for strike one. And the 1-1 pitch. It'll be a liner into right field. Goings gets to it, though, for the second out. And that'll bring us back to the top of the order, and Jalen Horton stepping up to the plate. 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. And he's going to ground that one too short. The throw to first is not going to be in time. So a base hit for Horton will extend this half of the inning. Horton showing off a bit of speed, and that's probably one of the reasons why he's a center fielder. And Kendrick Elder comes to the plate. Struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2 today. And he has a chance to possibly start a little rally here for the Lions.
Every 2-out rally starts with 2 outs. That's a historical fact. You could Google that. Fouled that one back, making the count 0-1.
The 0-1 pitch to Elder. And the runner's going to be going. And he's going to make it to second base, so a stolen base for Horton. Good jump by Horton, good throw by Ard, but Horton one out. So Elder now has a runner on second base. Can believe a base hit here would likely score him with the speed that he's been showing off.
Hunter Hubbard's been relying heavy on the curveball. I have to do a little cleaning of his optical assistance aids.
His glasses.
Sure, those things. I was a little redundant when I said assistant aids.
And the 1-1 pitch. Yeah, slow grounded to third. The throw to first is going to be scooped by Pereira. Nice little stretch and scoop there for the final out of the inning.
Wow, that hurt watching that happen.
I can tell as a former first baseman, sometimes you just got to do a split. So Pacers maintain their 8-0 lead as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. By that score, we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5th inning. Sorry. Tyler Ammerman stepping up to the plate, who has gotten an RBI double today and walked. And here's the first pitch from the new pitcher for Paine.
Raul Sweeney out of the Bronx, 6'4", 215-pound junior, throwing from the right side of the rubber.
Even all the way up here, he looks like he's a
big guy.
Oh, yeah.
That first pitch missing for a ball, though. That one's going to miss high. Sweeney a long way from home. Trying to find the zone right here, and he's 0 for 3-0 is the count.
I don't wonder if he's talked with Mercado, who also is from the Bronx.
Well, and you got to think maybe, just maybe, they crossed paths before, but that's a big area up there.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in Kansas when you're up there. And first 4 pitches are all balls, so that'll advance.
Yeah, Ammerman will walk for the second time today. And it brings up Doug Ard. Ard has a sac fly and is grounded into a double play today. So he comes up with 1 man on and nobody out. Sweeney deals.
Still having a hard time. He has yet to throw a strike. That's his 5th straight ball. Tough situation coming in. Down 8-0. You just want to take over from wherever you're at, and when you're on the mound, that means you tend to overthrow the ball.
And
makes accuracy less likely.
And
that's a 6th straight ball.
Yeah, they're gonna go out and talk with him, try to get him to throw him a little bit more towards the plate.
He's not missing by much, but he's missing in the way that he's just trying too hard. He's trying to win, and for his team, and you appreciate that, but you also got to be effective. And 6 straight balls is not what your coach was thinking when he brought you in. So take a little off, get that accuracy, trust your defense. That pitch called a strike, make it 2-1. That was a good-looking pitch. It had a little bend on it. It looked like a 2-finger fastball as it bent back in towards the batter.
Yeah. So here is the 2-1 pitch. And he took a little something off of that one there as Ard goes swinging for it.
Yeah, it looked like a little meeting between his catcher and himself really is paying off. He's looking like he's starting to get a little bit better control of his pitches. 2-2 is the count. Runner on first, no outs.
That's a liner into the gap in left center field. That'll be a base hit. Ammerman's going to round second and head for third, and Ard will make it into second with a stand-up double.
So good hustle there. Doug Ard give himself a little dap for his double.
Yeah, whenever a catcher gets a double, I guess he can kind of praise himself a little bit.
It's kind of cool as Luke Westerberg is going to come to the plate.
Taking over for Mitchell Price. And Westerberg comes up with 2 men on and nobody down in an 8-0 ball game. Westerberg is batting 194 on the year in 13 games played. No home runs and 5 RBIs is what he's dealing with. Looking to increase those RBIs with 2 runners in scoring position as that ball gets by the catcher. And Ammerman slides safe into home plate. So, wild pitch. And the runners will advance 1 base. So Westerberg facing in a 1-0 count. And now a 9-0 ball game with a runner on third and nobody else on. And the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be outside.
And again, you have a play like he had just a little, the pitch prior to that. They got past his catcher, ended up being a free pass for the Pacers to get their 9th run. You tend to come in, you want to overthrow. You just try and find that extra little something to put on the ball, and it throws your accuracy off. Catcher did him a favor there. He caught that and framed it quickly and did get the call. 2-1 is the count, but even that pitch was
A little bit on the outside, but
about 4 or 5 inches outside. But credit the catcher for doing his pitcher a favor, trying to hook him up, trying to get him back into the zone. He was throwing good prior to that one.
that's going to be a grounder into right field for a base hit. That's going to score Ard from third. So Westerberg with an RBI single.
That's going to bring Mercado up to the plate for the Pacers.
So 2 men from the Bronx facing each other now.
Second baseman, number 11.
Bronx on Bronx. Who's got it?
Mercado.
My money's on Skyler Mercado.
So Pacers now leading 10-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning after the pass ball and base hit. And there's the first pitch to Mercado, which is going to miss for a ball. And they're going to appeal, checking to see if Mercado may have gone for it. Count will remain 1-0, though, after the appeal.
Appeal is denied.
So the 1-0 pitch. That's going to bounce away from the catcher, but not too far away. As Westerberg's going to stay put at first base, and the count's going to be 2-0. Two-0 pitch to Mercado. That one's just going to miss outside for ball 3. And the 3-0 pitch. That one's going to go right down the middle for strike 1. And Payne's already got a pitcher going in the bullpen now. And the 3-1 pitch to Mercado. That one's going to miss outside for ball 4.
I'll bring Chaz Powell back up to the plate. He's been having a hard time getting any good wood on the ball.
Yep. 2 strikeouts and reaching on an error.
Changing up his walk-up song a little bit, maybe to mix up the mojo. I'm not sure what maybe he needs to get back to the wham.
Well, whatever works. If he manages to get a good hit on this one, he may stick with this song. He's got 2 men on and nobody out in a 10-0 ball game. So not a lot of pressure on him to do well, but you know he wants to.
And he's going to lay off that one as it sails high for ball 1.
Stepping off the mound is Sweeney. And here's the 1-0 pitch to Chaz Powell.
Big swing and a miss there to even the count 1-1.
Got a little ahead of himself there, looking for a fastball and got an off-speed pitch. And the 1-1 pitch to Powell. It's going to be fouled back.
That's
and
going
out
to
of
hit
play.
our roof.
There it is.
1-2 is the count.
Fine hitting the roof as long as it doesn't come through the roof. I don't really feel like getting a concussion anytime soon. 1-2 the count to Powell. Yeah, foul that one back and another thud.
He's fighting to stay alive on that one. That's one of those ones where you're just going, I just need to get a piece of it. Stay alive. Give me another pitch. Hopefully this guy will put one right across the plate. Chaz Powell has the power. He could add 3 runs to this with one swing pretty quickly if he gets the right pitch.
And the 1-2.
He's going to lunge out for that one. It's going to be shallow center, and center field's going to come in. He's playing kind of shallow anyway.
Well,
He got away with that one because I wouldn't play too shallow on Chaz Powell.
their center fielder, Horton, he's been showing off his speed, and once again, he showed it there. He was able to come in on that ball and make the catch.
Yeah, but he's not very tall, and from where he started, the right shot can get over his head pretty quick. He does have some speed. He's definitely a quick hit, and man, that may be what he's doing. He's trying to bait them into trying to swing over, which is a pretty reasonable. I've been known to do it as an outfielder myself. You try to bait them into swinging your way. You step back as Pereira comes up to plate with runners on first and second with one out, but you try to bait them, and sometimes the batter gets distracted by trying to aim the ball that they have a hard time getting good contact with the ball. Sweeney misses that one for ball one.
Pereira is 1 for 3 today. Grounded into a double play back in the first. Got a double and scored back in the third and flew out in the fourth inning. And here's the second pitch.
Nice little change of pace there, but it's not going to catch the corner. 2-0 is the count.
2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, and 2 men on in a 10-0 ball game. Bottom of the fifth inning.
And Pereira brings some size to the plate. He's 6'4". He's about 6'4".
Definitely a good type of first baseman. 6'4".
230 as that one misses. 3-0 is the count. He's the kind of kid though, and he's another one that you got to be careful. Don't get one in his wheelhouse.
He'll make you pay for that one.
Definitely some activity in the Lions bullpen, but there's some over in the Pacers bullpen too. It's Hunter Hubbard's not going to be a pitcher that you're going to leave out there for too many innings.
3-0 pitch is going to be in there for call strike 1.
So Pereira waits for a strike, finally gets one. Probably going to lay off this one as well. See if Sweeney can find a second strike in his repertoire.
Pereira is ahead in the count, so he's got some wiggle room, as some people may say. And he's going to ground that one. That's going to be foul, though.
That'll fill the count, 3-2.
So he obviously liked what he saw on that pitch. He just didn't get a good enough hold of it.
Looks like Niall Goins is getting ready to come up to the plate.
He went out there and replaced. He went out and replaced Zach Moon out there in right field. So here's the 3-2 pitch to Pereira. He's going to ground that one into right field for a base hit.
And they're going to hold the runners. It's in one of those situations where you're trying to make another team look bad. You just
don't want to.
Just hit around. You know, get one run at a time. Now Niall, if Niall gets a hold of one, he can launch it quick. He's got great bat speed. But he tends to be all or nothing. Either he gets a home run or just a really high fly out.
Well, Goings this year is batting at 174.
So he's been leaning heavily on the nothing. Maybe we can get some all this time.
No home runs and 1 RBI this year, as that one's going to miss inside for ball 1. So Goings facing a 1-0 count with 1 man down and bases loaded.
That ball missing high there, 2-0.
Yeah, Goings with an opportunity here to definitely increase his stats, add to the RBI column, possibly to the home run column if he so wishes. And then the 2-0 pitch, he's going to check swing foul for strike 1. So 2-1 the count now. Goings is going to follow that one off to even the count up at 2 apiece. Taking some time here on the 2-2 pitch. And Sweeney delivers.
Nice change of pace there. It doesn't swing, and or check call down this field up. A field up says he doesn't swing. Count is full, 3-2.
It was a good pitch. Trying to get him to chase one. Almost got him to chase one. But the count is 3-2.
Your Niles, you're sitting on a fastball right here.
And he's going to foul that fastball off to keep that count at 3-2. Just wasting a pitch.
Not bad. You got a little Eric Clapton rock in the stadium for a moment. And we're back to silence as the windup. En route, bases loaded. And that's going to miss. That's going to be a free pass, and that's going to walk in a run. And it's 11-0. It got ugly quick. And you're going to see a little conversation between coach and pitcher and probably a pitching change. So while they do that, we'll give you a chance to go top off your drinks, freshen your sodas, add a little something if you got it. We'll be right back.
And we're back. There's a pitch and change for the Lions. They bring in number 21, Richard Marte from the Dominican Republic. And he comes in facing bases loaded in a 11-run game with only one man down. And Max Schoen, the DH, comes up to for the Pacers. 2 singles and a strikeout and a run scored with 2 RBIs. And here's the pitch to Schoen. He's going to swing and miss at that one for strike one.
Did we already introduce this new pitcher? Sure. Good.
He's golden. He's like Buddy Boy.
He's good. He got skills.
He's not bad. He's almost as good as Allison.
Huh?
He's almost as good as him and Allison.
You should slap him.
So the 0-1 to Max Schoen. That's going to miss outside for ball one.
Just a bit outside there.
I didn't know this was Wrigley.
Well, I'd be Harry Carey. Hey, if I was the moon and you had ketchup, would you eat me? Would you?
Oh, what am I going to do? The 1-1 pitch. That's going to be a high fly ball into left field. They're going to go back on the track. At the wall. It's going. It's
No, it's
off
not.
the wall.
It had him all turned around.
And that's going to score at least 2 runs here. So a double for Max Schoen on what could almost was a home run, but just bounced off the wall. But he'll take those 2 RBIs with no complaints, I'm sure.
That ball almost came straight down the outfield wall. He hit that so high.
Third baseman number 17, John Banks.
That'll bring up John Banks. Banks is 0 for 2 today with reaching on an error and a flyout. He's also walked and scored a run today, so he's having some production. He comes up to the plate with 1 man down and 2 men on in a 13-0 ball game. That curveball is going to be in there for call strike 1.
Well, the stadium's going to get much quieter as 2 of our loudest Pacer fans are departing. Much to the pleasure of the home plate ref, I'm sure, or umpire. 13-0 is your score. We have 12 hits to their 4. They have 4 errors to our none. So they win in at least that department. They're shutting us out in the error department.
Certainly not what they want to be doing today, but at this point, you just got to roll with the punches.
And as the catcher goes out there, it's a good chance to thank our sponsors. Denny Michaelis, bringing all your insurance needs to the equation. South Carolina Education Lottery. Fats Cafe, home of the Coach's Corner on Mondays. Come down and have a hamburger, a steak, some cheese sticks, whatever, and join us. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center. You got any tire or auto needs? Former Pacer superstar softball player, part of that family there. And, of course, Bronze Body Tanning Salon. Keep your tan all year round. Match the Trump.
And there's the 0-1 pitch. It's going to be outside for ball 1. Evens up the count of 1-1. Yeah, I don't really need any help tanning. I get enough of that during the summer. Working outside all summer long.
But if you didn't, you can go to Bronze Body Salon.
You will keep that in mind.
Their motto should be, come on, trump it up. 1-1 pitch, just catching the outside corner of the plate for strike 2. And that might have been one of those, it's getting cold, I'm ready to go home calls.
That was a nice-looking curveball, though.
Runners on second and third. It was a good-looking curveball. The count is 2-2. If you're looking at the scoreboard, you just a little off up there. 2-2 count. Tried to take a lot off that one and just missed completely. That'll make the count full. 3-2. Scoreboard now says 2-2. They would be wrong.
A little bit behind over there. Let's give a little knock on the door.
Oh, we're used to letting them sit in their wrongness.
And
Pitcher steps off.
Marte trying to recollect himself. Obviously in a bit of a stressful situation here. More frustrating than stressful, I should say. And here's the pitch. It's going to be fouled off. to keep the count where it is.
Which is 3-2, even though the scoreboard right now says 2-2 still.
I have to keep catching myself as I'm about to keep saying the 2-2
Home plate
pitch.
umpire is about to put his hands up. You could tell he's feeling it, and he's probably going, when are they going to realize it's 3-2? And he calls for the pitcher to go ahead and throw. He says, who cares? Let's just get this on. Let's just get this over with.
He probably wants to go home and get something hot to eat. And here's the pitch.
And it's a non-issue as that ball sails into the gap. A little English on the ball, and that's going to clear the bases, and Banks will end up on second. And now, as a Pacer fan, you got to feel with a 15-0 lead, you got to feel a little bit better about your chances.
Just a little bit. I mean, you know, they've scored 2 touchdowns. They got the 2-point conversion. The defense is keeping them shut out. Oh, wait, that's the wrong sport.
Kendrick Elder's going to come to the plate. But it was a pretty perfectly timed. I apologize. I have been corrected as Joey Smithers comes to the plate. Smithers is an Aiken product out of South Aiken High School.
My alma mater.
Go T-Breads.
Sure, if you say so.
First pitch of ball, 1-0 is the count. Big swing and a miss there. Marte found a little extra gear there. To even the count, 1-1.
Yeah, Smithers comes into this game batting 176. He has no home runs and no RBIs on the year. Good opportunity, though, to change that.
Let that ball straight up in the air. It's going to get called by the second baseman. Again, the sky has wreaked havoc, and the second baseman will squeeze it and then stumble over the line between the infield dirt and the grass, but he holds on to it all the same.
All that matters is you get the out.
That's right.
Catcher, number 10.
That's going to bring up Douglas Ard to the plate. Douglas Ard came in and scored for us his last plate appearance. That ball's going to get past the catcher, and we'll try it down to third. I'll put runner on third.
To say it's just been a comedy of errors today.
I don't think Paine feels like it's been that funny.
Nah,
That definitely. I mean, and again, last year we watched Paine come in here, and they really fought a great. I mean, they pitched well, they hit well. I mean, it wasn't really decided until the final out. Tonight, obviously, things are not playing to their favor, but this program has been making some strides on the USC Aiken program, and this year things just aren't going their way. That ball's fouled out of play. The count is 1-1.
So Ard working with the man on third.
He takes that one a little high. Made the count 2-1.
Earlier in this inning, Ard managed to hit a double and come in to score, as is the story with many of the Pacers this inning.
That ball catching the strike zone pretty heartily to even the count 2-2.
There's a nice high fastball there.
As Brant Hager said in our background, 7. In fact,
7 have
scored
come
for the
around to score.
Pacers up to this point. But that's why he's the sports information director. He directs that information like a boss. That ball misses wildly, and of course we're not going to run there. That would be rude.
And it bounced back towards the catcher pretty quickly too. So
Well, in any other situation, he's running, but Banks. I don't even know that third base coaches giving them any kind of calls.
Probably just saying if he hits it, move.
2 outs. Count is full. Runner on third. Marte with the pitch.
Fly ball
Big shot down the right
into
field
right
line.
field.
That's going to go all the way into the bullpen for the Lions. So just a really long nothing, really, because we already got 2 strikes.
And just wasting a pitch and keeping the count where it is.
And Doug Arnold dig back in. Count is full. Again, runner on third. 2 outs. Here at the bottom of the 5th.
The 3-2 pitch.
That's going to miss high.
And another walk.
Now put runners on the corner.
It brings up Luke Westerberg. Westerberg earlier in this inning singled, scoring a run for an RBI, and also came around himself to score. He's one of the 7. And now Westerberg working with 2 men on and 2 men down here in a 15-0 ball game. That's going to be right down the middle for strike 1. So 0-1 the count to Westerberg. He's got Banks on third and Ard on first. And the 0-1 pitch will miss for ball 1. Evens up the count at 1-1. And the pitch. It's going to be fouled off. Make the count 1-2. Just catching a little piece of it off the end of the bat there.
So runners on the corner, 1-2 pitch.
That's going to miss outside. To even up the count once again at 2-2. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off once again. Just wasting the pitch to keep it at 2-2. And Marte deals the 2-2. Missing
Takes a
outside.
little bit off that one.
Yeah, just missing outside there to make the count full.
And as you would expect, the Paine got a couple of pitchers working out in the bullpen. Pacers got one throwing.
Hard to see. Our line of sight is obstructed by a large pole.
Looking at his throwing motion, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Mr. Felix.
And the runner goes from first, but that one's fouled off, so he's going to have to trick all the way back. Using up all that energy for nothing there. So once again, the 3-2 to Westerberg.
That ball's going to miss, and that'll fill the bases up for Mr. Skyler Mercado as he gets ready to come to the plate.
Once again, we're back up with the top of the order here.
And once again, we're going to see a pitching change. So we'll be right back right after this
Welcome back, folks. After the pitching change, we have the top of the order coming up here in the bottom of the fifth for the Pacers and Skylar Mercado.
Allsbrook coming in a tense situation. Bases loaded in this nail-biter of a game. 15-0 Pacers lead.
And Mercado, earlier in the inning, he walked, scored a run. He is 2 for 3 today.
That ball going to miss. Nice little movement on the ball. Just missing the outside edge of the plate. And right after one pitch, the catcher's out there to talk to his pitcher. So Mercado feeling the music, bobbing his head appropriately. We're all feeling it. Everybody got it.
He's got the 1-0 pitch coming to him.
So Allbrook in the windup. That ball in the dirt. And again, in any other situation, somebody's running and that as the ball gets past the catcher. But
In this kind of game, you don't want to risk injury on a play like that.
well, and you don't. I mean, baseball is a sport about chivalry. You don't run up the score. I mean, we're not stretching singles into doubles. You're not stealing bases. And it's, in a pass ball like that, you don't take the play.
And here's the 2-0 pitch. Also going to be outside and in the dirt.
So 3-0 is the count.
Mercado channeling his inner Ichiro there. And the 3-0. That's going to catch the outside corner there for a 3-1 count now. And here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 4 strike 2. That'll make the count full.
Mercado was very violent in his swing attempt there. I think he wants four runs right now.
I mean, no matter who you are, no matter what the score is, you always want a home run. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Runners are going. And that's going to be in the dirt. 4-4. That'll increase the lead, the Pacer lead, 16-0.
Left fielder number 12, Chaz.
And good news if you're a Lions fan, Chaz Powell's coming to plate. He's not having a lot of success behind the plate. Bad news is Powell is one of those guys that he can turn it around real quick.
He's 0 for 4 today with 2 strikeouts. And he comes up to the plate now with 2 outs and bases loaded in a 16-0 ball game.
Again, that pitch a little bit low in the dirt. For right now, the scoreboard says it's a 4-2 pitch.
They haven't.
It should be a 1-0 pitch.
There we
go.
Guess they're falling asleep over there.
Well, sobriety's overrated sometimes. I take that back. That's not fair.
The 1-0 pitch is
And
lined
Chaz Powell
into left field for a
finds
base hit.
And the left fielder appropriately boots it, but gets it back in quick. And so Chaz Powell gets a hit. He's pretty excited because he knows he's been struggling.
I don't even know how to score this anymore.
He'll get a ribby to show for it.
Running out of room on my score sheet here.
Well, you're going to need to add some more as Preston Dawson comes to the plate.
Oh, no. Now I got to add a pinch hitter in.
Yes, you do.
Oh, dear.
Preston Dawson, local Aiken product, dates Emily Telon of volleyball fame and fortune.
Fortune? Really?
Oh, yeah.
In college?
We live big in the volleyball world.
But, I mean, fortune, really?
We eat at Chipotle. That's all I need to say. Probably one of the most chick-driven food places on the planet. They're in Panera and Atlanta Bread Company.
I like Atlanta bread. Haven't had Panera yet. And
You may be a chick because that's all they serve is chick food. Good-looking pitch there called strike.
I think Chipotle's a little overrated. But that's just me.
We can talk about them because they don't sponsor us.
Here's the 0-1 pitch.
Handball in the dirt to make the count 1-1. But yeah, Atlanta Bread Company and Panera, that's just chick food. The 1-1 pitch. That ball
Bounces off the umpire's foot there.
probably did not feel too good, but he seems to be okay with it.
He's probably numb at this point.
Well, he's got that wooden leg. Pretty sure I heard a clack when it hit. 2-1. Catcher, I think catcher was looking for some kind of call from his dugout, and he didn't get it. Kind of shrugged his shoulders at the pitcher, said, "Yeah, just whatever." Here's the 2-1 whatever.
Swing and a
That
miss.
was a heck of a whatever. Strong, straight down the pipe to even the count 2-2. So deuces are wild here at the bottom of the offensive fifth inning.
Seems like we've been here for quite a while now.
Well, that's because we have been here for quite a while.
And here's the 2-2 pitch
That ball
in the dirt.
to make the count full. Good job by the catcher to keep that from getting to the dugout.
And nice show of hands there. Managed to bounce off his chest and caught it with his bare hand.
And looks like the Lions got a lefty up there in the bullpen. He's throwing pretty hard. Pacers got some over there. I think they're just throwing to play just to stay warm for the Pacers.
Swing and a miss, and we are finally out of the bottom of the fifth inning on that strikeout. But the Pacers do manage to score a couple runs, 9 to be exact, as we're going into the top of the sixth, 17-0 the score. Welcome back, folks. There have been several changes for the Pacers defensively today. Jared Felix, product from Aiken, South Carolina, and South Aiken alum, takes the mound for the Pacers. Dawson is taking over at first, while Smithers will replace Mercado at second. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Second pitch is going to miss for ball one. And JT Arneman is going to be out there in left field. So, and that pitch is in there for a strike. So it counts now 1-2. So 1-2 the count on the batter from Paine. And here's the pitch. It's going to be a liner into right field, and Goings is not going to be able to track it down. It's going to be a base hit. He's going to stretch this into a double, and the throw into second is in time by several seconds. So they'll tag him out as he tries to stretch a single into a double. But at this point, you really can't blame the guy. He's just trying to make this game a little more interesting.
Right fielder number 12, Adam Martin.
That'll bring up Adam Martin. That was Henderson who got that single and tag out at second. And Martin comes up to the plate. 0 for 2 today. And that first pitch is in there for a call strike. And the 0-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike as well. Felix has changed up his delivery from what I saw when he was back in high school. He's now pitching with a more of a sidearm approach.
He's been like that since last year. He came in and bringing that really tall frame, and he stands just on the, as far to the left of the rubber as possible, and he comes around with that big sweeping throw. He's had some pretty good success with it. The ball's dribbled back to him. Quick flick over and throw. And his brother over there in the stands got knee surgery. So he's got 4 to 6 weeks recovery time on his knee. Jacob, a good athlete in his own right.
This brings up Haziel Morel, the catcher, who is 1 for 2 today. And the pitch from Felix. Swing and a miss on that one for strike 1. And here's the 0-1 pitch. High fly ball into right field. Goings is tracking it down and making the catch for the final out of the inning. So another 1-2-3 inning for Paine, and they're unable to do much of anything offensively. So Pacers will go into the bottom of the 6th inning maintaining their 17-0 lead. And we're back here in the bottom of the 6th inning after a quick top of the 6th. Niall Goings steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 0 today with a walk and a run scored in his first plate appearance. Pacers leading 17-0 here on 14 hits and no errors. And the
So
Lions
still anybody's ball game.
swing and a miss by Goings there on a bit of a curveball. 0-1 the count. And the 0-1 pitch to Goings.
Good looking pitch there.
Low for a ball, though.
Gonna miss.
One and one the count here, and that curveball is gonna miss.
Pacers got a little roughed up on their last road trip, and a win like tonight has got to be a little good for you. Make you feel a little bit better. They were able to win 1 out of 3 on the road.
And that pitch is gonna miss for a ball. Well, despite that, they're still 11-3 on the year, which is a solid record. However, their conference record took a bit of a hit as they're 7-2 in the conference. And the 3-1 pitch to Goings. He's going to swing at that one and miss. I'm going to work the count full.
He was counting on that one being straight across the plate. He swung with everything he had.
And the 3-2 pitch to Goings. He'll swing at that one and miss as well. So Goings down on strikes.
And if you're asking how bad it is for the Paine Lions, when the catcher throws it down to first after a strikeout and it gets by the first baseman, ends up in right field, that's how it's going if you're a Lion for Paine. Looks like Charles Padilla is going to come up to the plate for the Pacers.
Taking over for Max Schoen.
So Kenny Thomas cleaning house over there in the dugout. Asking him, he's going to have managers out there playing before you know it.
That's grounded to short. Throw to first is in time.
And good play by the short. Good effort by the first to stretch it out. And that'll be out number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to bring David Langster up to the plate.
He's replacing John Banks.
Langster out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Curious to see what this young man is able to do. It's a new face here for the Pacers.
Doesn't have a batting average as of yet.
Well, that's because he hasn't batted.
So he's got a chance to. Really, take over the top spot on this team here with this at bat.
That's right. 1 base hit, and he's batting 1,000.
And he's gonna swing at that one and miss. Evens the count up at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men down in the bottom of the 6th inning of a 17-0 ball game. That curveball's going to go into the strike zone to make the count 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch to Langster. Going to be right down the middle for strike 3. So Langster caught looking for the final out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 17-0 the score going into the 7th. Welcome back, folks. We're in the top of the 7th inning here. And coming in for the Pacers to pitch is Bryce Buster. And he will face off against Ricky Carual, who is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. It's definitely a difficult name to pronounce, but
pleasant.
yes, indeed. And here's the pitch. That's going to be grounded to third. To the new third baseman, David Langster, who took over for John Banks. He throws it over to first for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for Paine, number 19, Caleb Lewis.
It looks like Caleb Lewis is going to come in for Paine.
He's replacing Briscoe Johnson.
Kenneth Lewis, I apologize. Out of Palm Coast, Florida. Paine College has been sandbagging. They bringing in all their studs now.
That's going to go.
Now it's just going to miss the ball field. That's ball one.
Lewis facing nobody on and one man down here. His team just slightly trailing the Pacers here in the 7th. That one's going to miss inside for ball 2. And the 2-0 pitch inside for ball 3. 3-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Just going to catch the inside corner for strike 1.
He's been getting closer and closer and closer and finally got a strike there.
And is bringing it slightly more in each and every pitch. And he's going to swing at that one and foul it off into the catcher's glove for strike 2. And I'll make the count full. So 3 straight balls, and then he manages to get a couple strikes in there. And the 3-2 pitch. High fly ball into shallow right field.
Now going to easily go over there and make that play. He is quite accustomed to seeing how the ball looks in the sky here at the Roberto Hernandez Stadium.
Well, to the Lions' credit, it looks like they've settled down in the outfield a little bit. They haven't been making as many mistakes out there.
Gabriel Guzman's going to come to the plate. Well, take some adjustment anytime you go to a different ballpark. Of course, it's tough to tell what the sky looks like from here. We got a lot of glare from the lights here in the press box. The heated press box, I might add. Thank the goodness of all that is good.
It's going to be in there for a strike. And now we're at a 3-3 count.
3-3 count. Technically, it's an 0-1 count.
And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And for the first time in baseball history, we have 4 strikes. Oh, we got to go over there. Yep, there they go. They just cleared it. That's going to be a little blooper there into center field. And coming on, making the catch is the shortstop, Ammerman, for the final out. Looked like it was going to be a base hit, but Ammerman showing off a little speed there and tracks it down and makes the catch. So, with that, Pacers keep their 17-0 lead, and we're going in the bottom of the 7th at that score. Welcome back, folks. We're going into the bottom of the 7th inning. USC Aiken leading 17-0. Joey Smithers steps to the plate. Smithers flew out his first time. That first pitch is in there for a strike. A couple defensive changes. Juan Berger takes over on the mound for Paine. And Kenneth Lewis is going to take over for Johnson over at first. That's going to be in there for a strike. 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch to Smithers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Smithers down 1-2-3 there. That'll bring up Doug Ard, the catcher. He is 0 for 1 today with a double run scored, sac fly, and a double play. And the first pitch in there for a strike.
That ball's going to get away, but caught a ball. 1-1 is the count.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And the pitch to Ard. It's going to catch the outside corner there for a strike 2.
Good looking pitch there from the lefty.
One and 2 the count now. And the pitch. Going to be a foul ball there. Fouled right into the ground.
That'll keep the count 1-2 for Mr. Ard.
So Ard digs in and waits the 1-2 pitch once again. That'll be a base hit into left field. And that'll bring up Luke Westerberg, who walked his first time up as he was pinch hitting for Mitchell Price. Here's the first pitch to Westerberg. Inside for a ball. Westerberg dealing now with a 1-0 count with 1 man down and a runner on first. 17-0 the score. So runs aren't really that much of a necessity anymore. And here's the 1-0 pitch. And a miss outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Westerberg. That's also going to miss outside for ball 3. The 3-0 pitch from Berger. That'll go right down the middle there for a strike. 3-1 now the count. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That'll miss outside for ball 4.
Now it's going to put runners on first and second as Mercado comes up to the plate. 1 out here at the bottom of the 7th.
Mercado is 2 for 3 today with a double, a single, and 2 walks. He's also come around to score twice. Mercado has 2 men on with 1 man down now, here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And he lines one into center field there. Hard hit, and a little too hard hit as it pretty much goes straight to Horton out there in center. That'll be the second out of the inning.
That's going to bring up JT Aiken.
Left fielder number 44, J.T. Ackerman.
Franklin, Kentucky.
And Arneman now with 2 outs and 2 on, with his first at-bat of the game. And here's his pitch.
Breaking ball missing the outside corner for ball 1.
And here's the 1-0 pitch to Arneman. It's going to miss high for ball 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's going to find the strike zone for strike 1, making the count 2-1. And that pitch is going to be inside and in the dirt for ball 3. So 3-1 is the count to Arneman. He's got 2 men on and 2 down in the bottom of the 7th of a 17-0 ball game. And the 3-1 pitch. Catching the inside corner. Checking on the runner at second. And they will catch him as he tries to go for third.
Douglas Hard knew he was busted the moment he broke towards third. He's got a little smirk on his face, but when you're leading 17-0, you can smirk a little bit, but that'll retire the side. Pacers have 17 runs on 15 hits to the Lions, 0 runs on 5, but they've got 4 errors to our none. We'll be back at the top of the 8th right after this.
Welcome back, folks. We're here in the top of the 8th inning. Pacers leading 17-0. And Brad Dobler leads off for Paine College. And the first pitch is going to be outside for a ball. Connor Norton taking over the mound for the Pacers. And Norton deals the 1-0 pitch. He's going to catch the outside corner there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Handful of Paine fans here. I think the bulk of them left earlier. We're at the 3-hour mark here in this game, as that's called strike 1 and 2 is your count. But a lot of Pacer fans have left as well, as those temperatures have dipped below the 50-degree mark, and we in the South call that frigid weather. You folks up north are probably giggling at the thought. Swung on a miss there for strike 3. Good-looking pitch. But we like our temperatures on the warmer side, as Jalen Horton comes to the plate for the Lions.
He is one for 3 today, with a single and a stolen base. First pitch to Horton will be a ball. 1-0 the count. Just going to miss low. 4-2. The 2-0 pitch in there for call strike. 2-1 the count. And that's going to be hit foul and out of play. Evens up the count at 2-2. And Norton deals the 2-2 pitch. Curveball is going to miss, and that'll make the count full. Three-two pitch. That's going to be a wasted pitch as it's fouled off. And we'll redo that pitch. Once again, the 3-2. In the dirt for ball 4. And that'll give Horton the walk. And it'll bring up Kendrick Elder. He faces one man on and one man down here in the top of the 8th inning of a 17-0 ball game. That's going to be inside for ball 1.
And you'll see some folks warming up in the Pacer bullpen, along with the Lion bullpen. Runners going. Doug Ard with a quick throw, but he was a little slow getting out of the reacting to that.
So that's the second stolen base for Horton. As I said, he's got some speed over there. I would not even be surprised if he tries to go for third.
Well, 17-0.
What do you got to lose?
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Well, earlier, Henderson had a nice base hit there. He tried to stretch it into a double, and he obviously was thrown out. But you know, he just, at this point, just take some risks. At this point, it really can't hurt you.
Well, you got everything to gain, nothing to lose.
Exactly. Count now 3-0 to Elder. That one's just going to catch the inside corner there for strike 1. The 3-1 from Norton. That's going to be lined deep into left field, but it's going to curve foul.
And he had some pop on that one as it sailed over the bullpen of the Pacers.
Definitely a well-hit ball, just didn't straighten it out quite enough. So the count is full to Kendrick Elder. Elder, who is 0 for 3 today. And here's the pitch. And he's going to be going down looking there. That pitch just catches the lower part of the strike zone. And that'll be the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Fentress Henderson, the third baseman. He is 1 for 2 today, with a strikeout, a single, and then thrown out trying to stretch that into a double. He's got a man on second and 2 outs here. Looking to try to end this shutout that the Pacers have going here. Still waiting his first pitch as Norton stepped off the mound to look at Horton. And here's the pitch in the dirt for ball 1. But Horton's going to stay at second base as the ball got away from the catcher. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll be low for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's going to catch the lower part of the strike zone for strike 1, making the count 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. High fly ball into left center field. And they're going to make the catch for the final out of the inning. Pacers maintain their 17-0 lead as we're going into the bottom of the 8th by that score. And we're back now here in the bottom of the 8th inning. JT Arneman leading off for the Pacers. Evan Kearns takes over on the mound for the Paine College Lions as they trail the USC Aiken Pacers 17-0.
Well, this is one of those games that's closer than the scoreboard says.
2 touchdowns in the field goal, 3-possession game.
Yep.
You only like my town meeting weird?
So Kearns deals to Arneman, who is going to ground that one foul. 0-1 the count.
Arneman on his 20th pitch. He was kind of rocking in at bat before the final out.
And here's the 0-1 pitch. He's going to swing at that one and miss for strike 2.
He actually looked fooled by that pitch.
And it looked like he was looking for something a little bit faster and ended up getting something rather slow.
Krenz put a little mojo on that pitch.
And here's the 0-2 pitch. That's going to miss outside for ball 1. There's an interesting delivery there. He kind of hesitates for just maybe a tenth of a second before he releases that ball. And that pitch is going to be in the dirt for ball 2. So 2-2 the count to Arneman. Arneman is working off of his at-bat that he had that he couldn't finish in the 7th inning as he watches that one go by for strike 3. So that's the first out of this bottom of the 8th. That brings up Preston Dawson, the first baseman, who struck out his first time up. Took over for Brian Pereira. And here's his first pitch. He's going to swing and foul that one off for strike 1. He's got nobody on and one man down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kearns deals the 0-1 pitch. That'll be hard hit ball foul. And out of play.
And you kind of feel like the Lions are going to ride Kearns all the way into the final out. No activity in their bullpen. And here at the bottom of the 8th. Hot shot into right field. So good at bat there for the Pacer. That's going to bring Niall Goins up to the plate.
Well, Paine only has 8 pitchers, and they've gone through 6 of them. This is their 7th pitcher. So they don't really have much to work with. Goings stepping up to the plate for the Pacers as Dawson gets a base hit. Goings has a walk and a strikeout to his name in this game. He's got a man on and a man down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Another high fly ball foul for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch to Goings. Another hard hit.
Opposite field, the right field. That's warning track power. But that'll be out number 2.
I caught it just before the warning track, but it was a nice hit ball. Maybe a little more bat on it, and it would have sailed a little further there.
Now bring up Charlie Battaglia up to the plate.
Grounded out his first time up. He's got a man on and 2 men down here in the 8th inning. First pitch
there.
In there for a strike.
Padilla may not see another pitch that good looking.
And the 0-1 pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Evens up the count at 1-1. And the pitch in there for call strike 2. 1-2 the count. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. So Padilla down on strikes, and that'll do it for the Pacers in this half of the inning. We're going into the top of the ninth. Pacers leading 17-0. And we're back in the top of the ninth inning. Pacers looking to close this one out as they lead 17-0. Blake Cantrell takes over for the Pacers on the mound as he faces off against Adam Martin. First pitch is going to miss for ball one. Martin's 0 for 3 today, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. He faces an 0-1 count. And now it's a 1-0 count, which is now a 2-0 count. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike one. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Miss low for ball 3, 3-1 the count. And the 3-1 pitch is going to be fouled back. That'll make the count full. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off again. And we'll replay that pitch. That's going to be grounded towards third base. Slowly, and the throw to first in time for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Morrell, who is 1 for 3 today with a base hit. Morrell steps up with 1 man down and nobody on, and the first pitch in the dirt for a ball. Oh yeah, that caught Ard in a bad spot. He's gonna take a couple seconds to collect himself. Don't care how much padding you're wearing. If you get hit in a bad spot, you're gonna be out of it for a little bit. Ard looks like he's okay now.
No need for a stretcher. Balls are intact. They just got the bite for a moment.
So 1-0 the count to Morrell.
Art will be chasing those things. Those intestines for the next couple of days.
1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got ahead of himself there. 4 strike 1, evening up the count. The 1-1 to Morrell. It's going to miss just outside for ball 2. Make the count 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In the dirt for ball 3. 3-1 the count. The 3-1 pitch going to be fouled back and way out of play. Not evens up the count, makes the count full. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's going to miss high for ball 4. So Morrell manages to extend this game a little bit longer as he walks. And that'll bring up Karahula.
I think it's the 5th different pronunciation of that name
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard
just-
you say all day.
It's definitely a challenge. I mean, I apologize to the guy for not getting the name right.
Cariol.
No, I'm just not even going to try. His first name is Ricky.
So Ricky up at bat.
And that's going to catch the outside corner for a strike. I feel like, if had this been a close game, I might have gone down there and asked him after this game, how do you say your name?
I think we're just going to let him get on this bus.
Yeah, he's probably just going to want to go
right
get on
off
the bus and
into
go
the
home.
moonset. That ball in the dirt. Even the count 1-1.
Karu Ahal. You know what? Forget it. Okay, I'm done. That's the last time I'm going to try to pronounce that name. 1-1's the count. And that's going to miss for a ball. Made the count 2-1.
Well, he's from Clarksville, Tennessee, which means the J is silent.
That's what I heard the PA guy saying, so I don't know. 3-1's the count, though. He's got a man on first and 1 down here.
We're all pulling for Ricky here.
And he's going to ground that one just foul down the third baseline. And the count is once again full to the second straight batter.
So the 3-2 pitch, foul down the right field line. Left field, right field, matters not. Foul all the same. Counts full 3-2. Runner on first, one out here at the top of the ninth. Pacers struggling to hold on to a 17-0 lead.
Definitely been a nail biter. That
Good
one's
little shot and handled aptly by Mercado.
That's the second time he's managed to track one down like that.
First baseman number 19, Kenneth Lewis.
And that'll bring up Kenneth Lewis.
Thought you handled that name much better.
Yeah, it's that was a tricky one. Definitely wasn't sure if it was Luis
I was
or
waiting
Lewis.
for you to say Kenneth.
Kenneth, yeah. I got a handle on this one. He's gonna swing and miss at that first pitch for strike one.
Big cut there.
Normally I'm good with pronouncing bad names, but every now and again
Did you just say the kid's name
Yes,
is
bad names. Okay, give me some heat.
Just because you can't pronounce it
Difficult
does not make
names.
it a bad name.
Difficult names. A little Freudian slip there. Difficult names, I
think
should
it's
say.
a cool sounding name if we can figure out how it sounds.
Yeah, but I'm usually good with difficult names, but every now and again I come across one that's not so great, as that one misses outside. And they don't know what they're doing on the scoreboard. They're reading no balls, 3 strikes.
So the 0-3 pitch. There we go.
There we
1
go.
and 2. A little bit better.
And he's going to swing and miss at that one.
There's your 0-3 pitch.
And that'll do it. The game is over with. Pacers win 17-0 on 16 hits and no errors, and the Lions 5 hits and 4 errors. So after a long and difficult game, it is finally over. Pacers return to action versus Georgia Southwestern on March 4th at 6 p.m., and then they'll play a doubleheader on March 5th against the same team at 1 p.m. on March 5th. So thank you all for tuning in and sticking with us through this very long game as Pacers win it, and we'll be back on the 4th. Thank you very much.